Little Red Walking Hood is a 1937 Warner Brothers cartoon from the Merrie Melodies series. It's directed by Tex Avery, and we have a very interesting character here. We have Ted Pierce voicing the wolf, and the wolf is, well, he's sleazy. He is kind of almost lusting after Little Red Riding Hood, who is walking along as he's driving beside her in his car, and Little Red Riding Hood definitely looks like a little girl with, thick ringlets, and he starts to talk to her in a very lustful, sleazy way that is very uncomfortable to watch. It really is. And she talks very sweetly, almost like a Katharine Hepburn style voice. She is voiced by Elvia Allman, who I believe has done Katharine Hepburn parodies for Warner Brothers before or after this, either way. And then Granny comes along, and Granny as a character I really liked in this. I thought she was very effective, and certainly someday I would have liked to have seen more of. And it is, of course, a parody of the traditional Little Red Riding Hood story, but with a much more sleazy angle. I won't say any more about the narrative or the specifics of it, I don't want to spoil it, but I do want to talk about the character of Elmer. Elmer is voiced by Mel Blanc, and to be honest, he looks nothing like Elmer Fudd. I mean, with a stretch of the imagination, you can see the similarities, but he is a very, very early version of the character who would become Elmer Fudd, and from that perspective, it's really fascinating to watch, to see this character's origins and how they went on to adapt him and develop him. And I must say, I'm really glad that they made him look less comedic. He has a very large nose and very prominent features, much more so than what Elmer Fudd came to be. And I think the fact that he was visually more interesting here detracts from everything else. And I think it worked to tweak that down and refine that a bit. But certainly in this cartoon, it was very interesting. As far as the narrative of Little Red Riding Hood goes, I think they utilised the best bits and gave it a Merrie Melodies slant. And the Katharine Hepburn-esque Little Red Riding Hood I rather enjoyed. Don't know if it's my favourite parody of Little Red Riding Hood, but I enjoyed it well enough, and I'd say it's one that's worth a watch.